In September of 2020, the City and Borough of Juneau Assembly appropriated Federal CARES Act funding to assist 135 Juneau artists. In the spirit of the Works Projects Administration of the 1930s era, the Juneau ArtWorks program reflects the zeitgeist of the public health emergency and will remind us of how our community responded to the COVID-19 pandemic.
My name is Rachael Juzeler. I did a CARES artwork grant titled Hidden Art, Hidden Message. It is a 18-piece and a 14-piece scavenger hunt that will be installed in downtown Juneau and in downtown Douglas. So the first collection that will be installed at Capitol City Park is all focusing on flora and fauna of the Juneau and its surrounding area. And then all the pieces that will be installed throughout Douglas will all be under a tool type of theme. One of my favorite things in the world is just finding small little pieces of art just hidden around in corners and things like that. And so I decided to create my own little hidden pieces, and then upon discovering all of the little pieces, then you would be able to read an uplifting sentence. So it was kind of a physical, outdoors, word find puzzle. I do reuse a lot of materials in all of my artwork. That's basically one of my ongoing themes, is using scrap and waste material in a lot of my artwork, because that is because we have a big garbage problem in our town, and we do have a big problem with waste. And so I like to add those small pieces of waste and waste materials into my artwork and showcase that as it can actually be something visually pleasing. This one, these are burned down or kiln fused bottles that are all slumped down. And so then I had all these pieces that was just basically broken glass from a blue bottle, and I completely just slumped that down in the kiln, and so I could use those pieces. And then I just kind of put them all together with my printed and infused glass over too. So each one has their number and then their letter where they're going. So when you put them all together in order, they'll spell your sentence for you. And I do try to always simplify in my colors and my shapes because it can get really busy really quickly. But I like to have everything also feel like they have the same theme. And so I'm using the same materials in all of these. So as I was planning, if I have something like this one that had a lot of blue going on with just a red stripe, and then this is another one from the Tool series, which also has a lot, just the small amount of blue to counteract this one. And then you would have just the small red stripe to keep, and then you have the same shapes going on, just to keep things coherent. COVID, to me, it kind of was a time to just isolate and figure out what my next steps and my next trajectory was in life. And doing this whole project of 32 mosaics in 2 months, which it's tested my limits, I must say. And that was really, yeah, I mean, I think the focus that I had for those 2 months, just having to do this project in such a short amount of time, that was very, very helpful to me. And it kind of promoted and showed me a trajectory of where I could go with my artwork. And so basically artwork is just making problems up for yourself to solve, but visual problems, basically. I wanted it to be accessible to everybody. I wanted it to be outdoors, and I wanted it to be something that you could do and have fun outdoors. I was really pushing the outdoor theme with COVID. So basically think of a word find type of puzzle. And so all the plaques are numbered 1 through 18 for the Juneau set, and 1 through 6 or 14 for the Douglas set. So when you do find all of these, if you just write down, you'll have your numbers all signify what order those letters all come into. And then as soon as you find all 15, you can jot those all down, and then you'll spell out a nice uplifting sentence. Because I did lose all of my employment everywhere, this really, really did help keep my my career functional, basically, help pay the bills. I was able to keep my house. And so it was kind of, I felt like it was a work project that just kept the arts going when we needed it most.